Tony. Well, when you think of fresh, locally caught fish, you probably picture grouper or snapper. And for years, it seems there's been more than enough to go around.
But these days, that is not such a sure bet. As beautiful as you can see in this video, but deadly predator is showing up more and more often in our Gulf waters. And tonight, I'm showing you what's threatening your dinner and how you can fight back, one kill at a time. Ready, aim, speared. This is one less lionfish in the waters off Southwest Florida. The guy who spears it stuffs it into this tube that's loaded with about a dozen more of these invasive fish whose spines can also spear you with venom. The local guy doing the killing and the recording on this dive and on this one is named Billy. Grew up in Naples?
Yep, grew up in Naples.
And he tells me he's been stung by lionfish before. How would you describe it?
It's like someone putting a nail in your hand and just slamming the nail every 10 seconds for about 2 hours.
Ugh!
It's very painful.
But the bigger pain inflicted from lionfish is on our native species of fish here. This probably all started when somebody had an exotic fish in their tank and decided to let it out in Florida's waters. It means they're invasive. Lionfish are actually from the Pacific Ocean, and that means they have no natural predators or diseases to keep them from taking over in our Gulf waters.
They're just growing with no controls on their population.
FGCU marine scientist Mike Parsons tells me how lionfish can make the Gulf their domain.
They're competing with other fish for places to live and for food to eat, so it'll be bad for other fish like grouper, for example.
Here's how. Lionfish gobble up the small fish that native species like grouper and snapper would normally eat, which can lead to drops in the numbers of those native species. And researcher Emma DeRoy tells me lionfish can also gobble up the small fish that nibble on the algae growing on reefs.
Then the algae overgrows the coral, basically suffocates it, and then you get coral dying off.
Dying reefs can mean fewer places for native species like grouper and snapper to feed, deepening the cycle that can let lionfish rule the waters.
Just, over the years, these fish could be the only things left.
But for now, there's still hope. So you're tracking the grouper and you're tracking the lionfish.
Right.
Emma's research here at FGCU's Vester Field Station in Bonita Springs could lead to ways to protect native species like grouper from losing ground to the invading lionfish. The first step is identifying what makes these lionfish so dominant.
For these guys, they mature within a year, whereas a lot of grouper take around 4 to 5 years.
I think the other big factor is they reproduce so often and they produce so many eggs that their population can just explode.
What kind of numbers are we talking?
Somewhere on the order of 2 million eggs per female every time they spawn, and they may spawn multiple times per year.
Billy tells me catching lionfish, especially off Florida's panhandle, can feel like Groundhog Day.
They go and clean out a spot and they'll get 500 off one spot, and then they'll go back the next week and there's 500 more. And they're bringing back thousands of them in a day.
But luckily, lionfish are increasingly in demand among one potential predator: humans.
The one good thing about what we can do about it is they are a delicious fish.
Lionfish are just very good to eat. You can eat it as sushi. See, these spines would be the venomous ones here.
Billy's quick to point out lionfish are not poisonous, just venomous, and that distinction matters.
The venom is only in the spine, so the meat is very good. It's one of my favorite fish to eat.
And it's becoming a favorite to sell. More restaurants now serving lionfish, more stores now selling it at prices that make harvesting lionfish worth the investment.
Pretty expensive. It's on the same, level as grouper prices, like $24 a pound.
In the meantime, researchers are looking for other ways to tame the lionfish's ever-growing presence in our waters and encourage you to do your part. What should you do if you spot a lionfish if you're out fishing or diving?
Kill it, and then eat it.
That's the scientific
Kill it is
protocol.
A scientific, yeah. Remove it from the environment.
Something locals like Billy are happy to do, one stab at a time. And you can find out more about how the team at FGCU is approaching the lionfish problem and more about that spearfishing group. They're targeting lionfish, and they've got a tournament planned for this summer at 360 Market in Naples. You'll find all this info when you click on my story right now on fox4now.com.
Well, next time you